What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. As many of you know, last night the New York Rangers won a good one in Los Angeles, the old East Coast, West Coast, New York versus Hollywood matchup. And former Kings first rounder Brian Boyle played, I think it was his third or fourth game back at Staples Center since he was traded in 2009. And someone who played with his brother and actually was in his other brother's theology class, I figured what better way than to do with David Letterman style top 10 list on the top 10 things that ran through Brian Boyle's mind during the game last night. So without further ado, number 10, I just set the stage for Tonight Show. Obviously going from Los Angeles to New York. Actually, Tonight Show went Carson and New York, LA, back to New York, but Jimmy Fallon will have it in New York next year. Irrelevant information. Number 9, I made up better than my good friend Mr. Jack Johnson. They're actually friends and they played in LA together. And New York City's slightly more desirable than Columbus. All due respect to the kind folks of Ohio, but location, especially if you're a real estate agent. But I digress. Number 8, if you think playing for Sutter or John Tortorella is hard, even though Boyle never actually played for Sutter, you should see my brother Chris's theology class, which isn't completely true. I love that class. Number 7, Manhattan Beach. What's the difference? Both a lot of boat docks, both prime time real estate, but the temperature in December and the pristine location on the Pacific Ocean is definitely probably the most notable difference. Number 6, the Kings may have passed on Corey Perry to draft me in 2003, but they'll still have Katie and Matthew Perry. Obviously, one of them's a big-time Kings fan, the other has been to a game or two. And who was a bigger star in 1995? Obviously, Katy Perry was like 6, so that joke's not funny. Number 4, say what you want about me. Number 5, excuse me. Say what you want about me, but at least I played more games in LA than Colton Tubert, Thomas Hickey, and Laurie Tukanen combined. It's true. Number 4, Bobby Orr. Without me, you wouldn't have Jordan Whale. Obviously, Manchester Monarch, former Regina Pat. He was the third-round pick that went from New York to LA. Number 3, Dustin Brown thinks he's on Shane Doan's bad list. He didn't fight him twice and chase him down the runway. All I did was have words with him in 2012. I thought Doan was going to cry between losing the game and then barking at Dustin Brown, a year and a half ago. Number 2, Dwight King is getting top 6 minutes. I didn't get top 6 minutes in LA, and we're both the same size and have the same level of offensive productivity. It's actually funny. Kyle Calder was playing over Boyle in LA, and there was some questions being asked by its family members about why is Kyle Calder playing over anyone. Those were interesting days for the LA Kings, especially like in between that one was it 2008, 2009, just Doughty's rookie year. Camilleri had been traded. Dustin Brown's kind of coming into his own. Anze was kind of coming into his own. Quick was kind of coming. It was interesting. And Boyle happened to be along for the ride. And the number one thing that ran through Brian Boyle's mind and my mind, where's Tambellini right now? The third, he's actually the second of the first round picks that LA had in 2003. Obviously Dustin Brown, Boyle, and the former University of Michigan star. I think he's playing in Europe for what it's worth. Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ on the top 10 things that went through Brian Boyle's mind during the LA Kings New York Rangers matchup last night at Staples Center. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.